Keep it local. Therefore, all of the bands that I played on, all their fans listened to my show, and it kind of blew up. So,
yeah. Nelly Nell and the Prophet Skelter. This is episode. Thank you for tuning in once again.
Ferreira Brothers, aka Nation 2.0, got the new setup again. We're all set up. Got the baby in the house. There's an actual baby here. Yes.
Yep. Got the product placement.
And I think
we're not sponsored, by the way.
Yeah, they're too young to know any cuss words. Therefore, you can't, be like in the chat, like, "Oh my God, you guys are saying this stuff next to a baby." And this dude don't understand shit yet, so we're all good for it.
Yeah, and when he talks his baby talk, we don't know what he's saying. He could be cussing for all we know. That baby talk, the goo goo gagas and all that.
Yeah, we've seen those movies when they have like the baby talk, and they're all like, you got a big head,
little squirmy worm,
like that, dude. All right, dude. Yeah, okay.
Grab everything. So today I wanted to start off. Last episode we mentioned a lot about Grants Pass. This won't be an in-depth review, but it was more or less kind of, I want to get your opinion too, because I never really asked you on personal level, is from start to finish, how would you describe your move up here and your liking, adjusting, and then like how you feel about it now versus then, what I mean? Yeah. Doesn't have to be like crazy detail, but
well, when I first moved, there was a big difference because I went from about 1 million people to 30,000 people or something here. So, and I didn't, in the first year, I didn't go anywhere, but then I finally got a friend came to visit. Like, the pub scene is cool here. I love the pub scene. There is a good amount of pubs that you could hang out with. Downtown, actually, free parking. That's something I never heard of. Like fucking free parking in San Jose, California, where I come from. You literally like stop your car for a second. That's $5. You're paying for anything downtown. So the pub scene was cool. And then, I started actually meeting some people out there, which really, started getting more comfortable. And it's like, all right, people cool. But, as long as you don't meet the homeless zombies, kind of stay away from them, then you're all good. The non-homeless zombie people are cool. And the pub scene's cool, which is really what I'm into. Like, there is festivals and stuff. I went to a couple circuses. I wish Flying Lark would have come, because that was the main thing I was talking about with my brother and my family when we were coming. As soon as we get there, Flying Lark's going to open. That's going to be like an epicenter of entertainment here. Everybody, there's going to be something for everybody. It's going to be like a Medford style, like, play area. And that all went to shit. Probably because of the fucking Indians, are like, no, you can't have it. I don't know really what went down there, but this is all speculation, so don't take it too serious. So that kind of sucked. But the fairgrounds does have good stuff, like circus. I see a couple concerts every once in a while, even MMA fight. That's cool. Cartwrights has good ass meat whenever you want to have a cookout. I'm like literally 3 minutes away from a hospital. No traffic. That's cool. But me, it's all about the pubs. If you got a good place to sit at a bar, drink
like I miss
with
all
cool
the good
people.
Stuff. Go ahead, keep going. I'll just have to rewatch it when I do the editing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm just talking about where I came here, and for the first year, I didn't really go anywhere because we moved here, and then we had to move to somewhere else right after. and it was just me helping my mom. So it was just kind of just doing all that. But then once we got settled and I had friends come over, I actually got to go out and visit places. And to me, the pub scene is cool. Free parking downtown. You park for free, you walk. There's literally like 20, 30 pubs within walking distance downtown, which
Mm-hmm.
is cool. If there's a place for me to, have an ice cold beer, have some calamari or wings or whatnot, chill, have a good conversation, I'm cool with that. I'm not really, I don't have kids or a wife or anything like that, so not really into like the festival scene. But they seem to have a good amount of festivals. The one thing we were talking about that I was disappointed in was thought when we came here we were gonna come here right when Flying Lark was hitting, and that was gonna be kind of like the epicenter of entertainment here.
And that's a whole segment for another
Yeah,
episode or
yeah.
later on
So
if
we'll
we
talk
want to
about
touch on
that.
that later.
Which the good thing is once we hit that, we'll also talk about what they're doing next to it at the fairgrounds.
Oh yeah, at least there's one. I mean, there's one positive that came out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So, I mean, I missed more than half of that, but
yeah, you've been actually to Botanic, is it? That's the big festival.
it just
right?
passed by. But we have all types of festivals. They're bringing them back to the '50s, where it's all '50s aesthetics and 50 cars, and they're doing parades and like 50 themes and all the restaurants. Our the one thing about this town is the downtown is the heart. That's the meat and potatoes of everything.
Yeah.
And then we got Hellboat, which is a tourist attraction, super fun. You know, they have different packages where you can actually go on a whole 2 hour down the Rogue River. It does spins, and then you actually go out to dinner to a special restaurant that you can only get to through there and eat off the river. There's, the two restaurants, which you probably already mentioned, which was River's Edge and Tap Rock, which are beautiful restaurants to eat off the river.
You eat, beautiful views, like right on the river.
Yeah, the shopping's pretty good too. I mean, you got all your essentials here from Walmart to Fred Meyer's, Winco, and then you got a nice shop.
You don't have
it's
to
growing.
leave, but there is no mall. And there is like no Costco or anything. But I mean, if you don't need those places, I mean, there's pretty much anything you need.
When you say that, they probably think they're like we have no access to it. So
no, we
30
do.
So 30 minutes from here is a town called Medford. That's basically like the capital of Southern Oregon. They have the Costco, they have the mall, they have all the big time store brands and shit from like Dick's to like anything you can name. You know what I mean? So, and they're the ones growing. They're the ones that are getting every new pop up that's coming to town. But then again, they're also growing in population. They're going to reach the 100,000 mark. They're the fastest growing town of 2024 of all Oregon. So, I mean.
But if you have like friends come over and stuff and, you spend a couple days in the town and you want to go somewhere, big city and stuff, you could go to Medford. That's we come from San Jose where 25-30 minutes is nothing. That's everyday drive,
Well, we come from where so let's put it this way. 30 minutes is 30 minutes here. You know what I mean? San Jose, 30 minutes could be all the way up.
Here,
it could be fucking another hour because traffic and just depending on what. But one thing I will say, because I thankfully I just recently moved to Rogue River for my job for a promotion, which is fucking way closer, about 15 to 10-minute drive from here, depending.
Yeah, that saves a lot.
I worked in Medford, which was 30 to 45-minute drive, depending. And I'll tell you this much: getting off work towards the end of like when before I got promoted, because the town's growing so fast that it started being a hassle just to get off work and get onto the freeway because the congestion was just crazy. So I'm glad I dipped out before it started, getting to that point. And my girlfriend and my in-laws, they'll go to Medford for the day to do all their shopping and shit. Because don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful town, but even they're saying it's starting to become a little more of a shit show. So it's kind of the downfall for that a small town growing into a big city, but it benefits us because now we got that access, but our
But
town is still not even
yeah,
near that. You
we
know what I
always
mean?
have, we always could dip back at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, I feel relieved when we come back
We
from a
could
day in
dip back,
Medford.
you know, and really, there's really, I mean, the traffic is almost zero here. I mean, there is times where during school, there's a street that's
Well,
like backed up a little bit. Our
Boatnik was
Boatnik
hectic when
one,
everyone was leaving. Was
yeah,
just
yeah,
shit show.
yeah. But that's because that is literally a festival where the whole fucking town goes. Plus, this is where outsiders even come from nearby areas, you know?
Right? Yeah, from
So
the
that's
county
that's
line.
different. But I mean, the day-to-day life here is the traffic is almost null and void. Like, you know.
Yeah. Now for me, when I have like if I have family and friends visit, the one beauty of this is all right. Where the coast is about an hour and a half away to 2 hours, which isn't bad, but we have fucking the basically here in Oregon or especially in Southern Oregon, the back your backyard is the outdoors. We got beautiful rivers, lakes, all within an access point. We got hikes, beautiful hikes, and if you're into that shit, which we are, like the summers are just they're outstanding. It's like
Yeah.
endless. You know what I mean? If there's a town called Ashland, which is about 40 minutes from here, that town is like going into a whole different world. So it's just like you got so much options. What I noticed from here compared to coming from San Jose or the Bay Area is it's not just one town or another. The Rogue Valley itself is one big town in its own. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like San Jose, you go from one exit all the way to another exit. You're passing up like 20 exits. You're still in San Jose, but it's a different part.
Yeah.
Here, it's Rogue Valley, and like you go several exits, you're in a different town, but it's all like everyone's like tangable, I guess you could say. I don't know the word.
There's a
but
lot of people like when
there's
you talk about Grants Pass, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm from there. Actually, Rogue City or whatever, you know." So, every city around here, from Ashland to like Grants Pass and in between, they're all like they all act like part of the same area. You know what I mean?
pretty much is, yeah. I mean, and it's pretty hard to explain, but I guess I'm just trying to put through the point of view from
Merlin too is another
so
town that's right next to us.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fucking beautiful things popping up. Like for instance, in Talent, which is right after Medford, they got a big ass like food court area, but it's not a food court. It's like a whole like area to go chill, hang out, and they have 5 different restaurants. It's all built from the ground up, outdoor seating and like fire pits and like places to go play like cornhole and shit. And they have like from Peruvian to like authentic Chinese barbecue, So it's like you're seeing a lot of this come up, and it's like not nonstop popping up. So and new shopping centers too in Medford. So it's cool being here and seeing that grow, because before we got here, the Rogue X, which is an indoor water park, was barely being announced. You know what I mean? Now that's built. The Get Air by Tinseltown. You know what I mean? Butterfly Club, like where it's the steakhouse, Bugsy's Steakhouse, moving in. Like we're witnessing the growth of a small town becoming big, which I think that's awesome, because we're from San Jose, but it was always big by the time we're already old enough to be old. You know what I mean? It was already big to the point where, it continued to grow, but it was already a big ass city. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then it got just too big.
Too big, yeah.
Too big.
Million plus people, and that's just that's just San Jose.
We were there right when it was growing, and we lived through the peak of the plateau of where it should have stayed, there was just the perfect amount of people there, you know?
Yeah.
And then now it's trending into too many people, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You know,
And that's the one thing about having Medford and all these places having that stuff is the keeps Grand Pass at this level, but access to everything else
yeah, exactly.
without Grants Pass getting bloated per se.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, um, fingers crossed, but I mean, it's Grants Pass slowly growing too, just not at a rate like that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of people that are moving in know that secret that we know about. Like, this is where you go to have like your amenities of just being humble and small town vibe, enjoying the charm, and then going to Medford for all your big time, spots and shit. But those are the people moving here, and that's just, you know what I mean.
There's also things you don't have to spend a lot of money. There's things you could do for free.
Oh,
like
that's what I like too. In San Jose, everything was money. Just the
hiking.
park.
Yeah,
Just the park
hiking,
somewhere.
or you go to the park for free.
Yeah.
You know, if you bring your own food.
Purple Lab Productions in Nation. Two boy all presents all of it.
No, it Perlino presents the Ferreira